everybody.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. Let me make sure I have everything off. Okay. Wait a couple of minutes. Oh, so how's everybody doing?
Melissa, the dog's in the bathroom.
There you go. I'm just gonna grab some water. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
What's the options here?
Okay. Hey, Terry.
Hey, Meg.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. All right, so if everyone has a ball, we may get to that. If you have a band, that would be fantastic, but it's not required, but it's helpful if you want a little extra resistance. It can be one that just loops around, or it can be one that ties, or you can do it without. So don't feel like you need to grab that. If you have a tie, a strap, something that's nice and long, that would be great, but again, not completely required. And I think that is it. All right, we're gonna get started. Excellent. All right, so we'll start off seated and crisscross in the non-habitual way. So I'm getting so good at this that I forget which way is the non-habitual way. So best case scenario there, crisscross. Lengthen from ribs to hips and really think about relaxing the shoulders. Oh, one thing I forgot to do is I'm going to mute you all just so everybody can hear. Okay. Hey, Martha. All right, deep breath in, arms reach, shoulders draw down. Inhale to stay, exhale to rotate to the right. Use that back hand as a kickstand to lengthen you up. And exhale, be mindful to rotate underneath the ribcage a tiny bit more. So try not to rotate with the head or the shoulders, try to rotate underneath the ribcage. Inhale, bring the arm up and over, nod the head, round the spine. Oh, wait. Yes, nod the head, round the spine. Sorry, I was looking at you guys. Deep breath in. Exhale, relax the jaw. Maybe just gently nod the head side to side. And exhale, stay, relax the shoulders. Stack yourself up, one vertebrae at a time, arms reach. And on the exhale, rotate in the opposite direction. Use that back hand tented up on your fingertips as a kickstand to lengthen you up. Exhale, draw the belly in, pull up on the pelvic floor, and maybe rotate a little bit further. Inhale, bring the arm from behind up and over, nod the head, round the spine, relax the jaw. Deep breath in. And long, relaxing breath out. Maybe gently nod the head, just rolling it from side to side. On the inhale, really direct the breath into where the shoulder blades are in the back, trying to stretch that area. And exhale, relax the shoulders, drawing the belly in. So you're in a rounded position now. Inhale, stack yourself up, thinking tail to head, one vertebrae at a time, arms reach. On the exhale, very deliberately push down like you're pushing energy down or you're pushing hundreds of pounds down as you lengthen up. All right, inhale, that right arm goes up. Exhale, lengthen up a little bit higher and side flex. If this is at all difficult for your shoulders, you can be at a 90-degree angle. Or you can have the arm come down and just lengthen through the body. Inhale, deep breath, back to center. Exhale, up, and side flex. Inhale back up and exhale over to the opposite side. Notice the shoulders drawn down. And last time, just make sure you're trying to be in between two panes of glass. So you're just side flexing in between those two panes. Relax both shoulders. Maybe open up a little bit. Inhale, lift the hip on the left, and exhale, lengthen down, or whichever side you're on. Inhale, lift the hip, and exhale, keep the fingertip where it is. Push on that right palm to lengthen you down. So the palm that's on the floor you want to push into. And last two, inhale up, exhale, lengthen down. And last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, try to keep the fingertip at where it is as you lengthen down. Inhale, open a little bit to the ceiling. Exhale, rotate against the stability of the pelvis, so your gaze is at the floor. Inhale, reach long at a diagonal, still drawing down on the lat, so the shoulder's not in the ear. And exhale, derotate. Slight extension. Inhale up, both arms reach. And exhale, push down as you lengthen up. Opposite side, inhale, arm up, grow tall first, lengthen from ribs to hips. Take that height and side flex. Use that hand that's on the floor as a kickstand to reach that hip back down on the opposite side. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lengthen down. Using your breath, inhale, deep breath, open mouth, exhale to relax the jaw. And last two, inhale, lift. Relaxing the eyes as you draw the shoulders down. And last time, inhale, lift. And exhale, lengthen down. Inhale, slightly open to the ceiling. Exhale, rotate against the stability of the pelvis. Inhale, reach long at a diagonal. And on the exhale, derotate, maybe a slight extension. Inhale up, both arms reach, and push down as you lengthen through the crown of the head. Roll the shoulders up, and exhale down. One more time, inhale up, and exhale as you separate the shoulders from the ears. All right, we're gonna come right down to the mat. If you have a block or a ball, you can certainly use a ball, you're gonna place it between the legs. If you don't, not a big deal. You can certainly use a book, but it's just so we work our adductors. Inhale, deep breath, exhale, round through the center of the spine, rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Arms are palms face open, arms are rotated open. Now, make sure that the feet are in the right position. So walk the feet so that the heels and the ankles are underneath the knees. I'm going to show you what I don't want you to do, which is bringing the knees too far forward and the heels too far in towards your buttocks. When you go up, you'll put unnecessary stress on the knees. So make sure that the feet aren't too wide, because that puts unnecessary stress on the back. So the ankles should be right underneath the knees when you lift up. So let's just practice a little bit of imprint versus neutral, so everybody can identify neutral. Deep breath in to prepare. On the exhale, just subtly tip your pubic bone up towards the ceiling. So if you had a glass of water, it would be pouring on your chest. Now inhale, open, just back to neutral. And now exaggerate the arch so that the glass of water is pouring between your legs. That's an exaggerated arch in the back. So somewhere in between there is neutral, and you'll notice where your chin is. So let's try one more time. Deep breath in. Exhale, tip the pubic bone up towards the ceiling. You may notice the chin also reaches up. This is not ideal for everyday holding. Sometimes we do it in Pilates just to spare the back any unnecessary stress, but in general, you don't want to walk around with a posterior tilt in your pelvis. Inhale, open the distance between the ribs and the hips in neutral, and then go ahead and exaggerate. So the exaggeration, the chin comes down towards the chest, that's not ideal either. So somewhere in between there, where you're kind of teetering on the sacrum, that bony bone in your butt. So inhale, deep breath. On the exhale, gently squeeze if you have a block or a ball in between your legs. And then I just want you to come up, straight up. So you never want to be on the cervical spine. You only want to be on the shoulder blades. Squeezing the glutes here. Now, while you're here, lengthen through the knees. So reaching the knees in the opposite direction than you're reaching the crown of the head. And just notice if something's tight. Is it the hip flexors or the outside of the hips? Is it the back? Sometimes the back goes right into kind of an intense gripping. So the goal here is obviously not to hold a position with a tight back. So I'm going to do some exercises that hopefully will release it. Karate chop at the hips, sacrum hits the mat first. We're gonna do that one more time. Be mindful of what is tight, and then we're gonna work through the exercises to maybe loosen a lot of those areas. Inhale, deep breath. Exhale, come up. So this alone is a very kind of unilateral holding and is a workout in and of itself, certainly. But if it's straining your back because you're not engaging the right muscles, it's not doing a very effective job. So kind of take inventory of where you're tight, if it's the hip flexors, the back, and then hopefully when we come back up in a few minutes after the exercises, it won't be so tight. Stay for a deep inhale, and on the exhale, karate chop at the hip, sacrum hits the mat first. So we're gonna take the block out, the legs go to the wide edges of the mat, palms face up, and arms are wide to the side. So maintaining that neutral in your low back, inhale, deep breath, and on the exhale, just gently guide the knees over to the right. Maybe the head turns to the left, but if that doesn't feel right, the head can stay at center, looking up at the ceiling. Deep breath in, and the exhale is to come right back to center. We're gonna add on to this the next round, but let's just gently kind of bring the legs off to the opposite side. So first, inhale, deep breath. Engage by relaxing the shoulders, weaving the ribs, pulling up on the pelvic floor. Then the legs reach over to the left. Maybe the head turns to the right. Stay for a deep inhale. Drawing the breath into the back and sides of the rib cage. And on the exhale, don't just move the legs back, pull up on the pelvic floor, head comes back to center, legs come back. Adding on, deep breath in, make sure you're in a neutral. And then exhale, legs come off to the right, head turns to the left if that feels right. Now squeeze this left glute. When you do that, you open the hip flexor, which is probably pretty tight for most people if you sit a lot or you drive a lot. So we're doing a nice stretch for that. Inhale, deep breath. As you breathe, breathe into the back and sides of the rib cage. And on the exhale, think lengthen through that left knee to open the ribs from the hips on the left side. One more breath. And on this exhale, pull up on the pelvic floor, stabilizing your core and bringing the legs and the head back to center. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, don't just move the legs, really do the engagement of the core first before distal mobility. And then the legs come to the left, the head turns to the right. Same thing on this side, squeeze that right glute because it's the opposing muscle and it'll allow the hip flexor to stretch. Knee reaches as well if you have that in you. Inhale, deep breath. Lengthen from ribs to hips and exhale, stay. Inhale, deep breath. Exhale, pull up on the pelvic floor. Legs come back to center, head returns back. All right, we're gonna roll off to our side. This is the whole series that hopefully when you go back into that bridge pose, it won't be as challenging on your back or your hips. All right, so side plank. If you guys could do this a couple of times a day, this would be fantastic for your stability, for your balance, for your core. So again, there's a couple different ways. I do not prefer on the shoulder, or on the forearm, but if you have bad shoulders, that might be an option. That's not my first choice personally. You can also come up onto the arm with one leg bent underneath, or if you feel like challenging yourself, stagger your feet one in front of the other, and you can come up here. You can also do this on the forearm. It's just not my first choice. All right, deep breath in, choose your form. Deep breath in, exhale, coming up. Now, if you're staggered in the legs, squeeze the glutes to open the hip flexors, energy between those inner thighs, and lengthen through the crown of the head. So you don't want to be too far up in this rounded position. Everything should be a nice long line from the toes to the crown of the head. Breathing, deep breath in, and long breath out. Good, just make sure your head's in alignment. Don't drop the head down. So lengthen through the crown of the head, squeezing the glutes. 3 more, deep breath in. If anytime you have to come down, feel free. And long breath out. Another distracting mechanism is just to circle the arm around. And here's the last breath. Inhale, deep breath. If you're on your feet, bend that bottom leg. If you're on your leg, go ahead and flex at the hip and come down. I'll take you guys take a break, just rotate the wrists. One thing I'm gonna say, if you have hyperextension like I do, or a double jointedness, I think it's called, as well as hyperextension, be mindful not to bring your, I'm not sure exactly what it's called, the opposite side of the elbow out to the side. You always want a slight bend to the elbow. So just be mindful not to hyperextend there or go into an exaggerated tight elbow. Now we're going to do rotation. If you feel like this is too much, you can just hold. So I'm going to do the full. You can still stay on the leg like this if you want. Deep breath in, exhale, coming up. Stay for a deep inhale, maybe open a little bit first. Exhale, rotate. We're doing 5. Inhale, open. And again, you can do this on the forearm. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, deep breath to open. Exhale through the mouth as you rotate. 2 more. Inhale, open. Exhale, shoulders draw down as you rotate. That's an important piece. Inhale, open. Last time. Exhale, rotate. We always stop on an open and then bend the knee, flex at the hip, or if you're on the knee, just flex at the hip. Rotate those wrists if you need to. Take a deep breath. And we're going to switch sides. Now this is important to do this because often we don't strengthen the muscles between the ribs and the hips. And this really isolates all of the muscles on the side of the body, which we never really work. All right, deep breath in. On the exhale, coming straight up, squeezing those glutes, relaxing the shoulders, making sure the head is in line with the rest of the body. 4 more rounds of breath. Feel free to circle the arm. And 3. And 2. Pulling up on the pelvic floor. And 1. Deep breath in, bend the knee, and then slowly come down to the hip. Nice job. Rotate at those wrists if you need to take a break. Remembering to draw the shoulders down so you don't have shoulders in your ears as you're doing the exercise. And here we go. Deep breath in and exhale. Stay for a deep inhale to open, exhale to rotate. We have 5. Inhale, open, and exhale to rotate. Inhale, open, and exhale. Deep breath in. And exhale. 2 more, I think. We lost count. Exhale, rotate. And last time, deep breath in, shoulders draw down, exhale, rotate. Stopping at the inhale, bend that bottom leg, flex at the hip. Nice job, guys. And rotate the rest. All right, we're just gonna do a little check-in, see how we feel. So you're gonna take the block, if you have it, place it between the legs, palms face up, feet are hip width distance apart, neutral spine, deep breath in, and on the exhale, come up. Hopefully you guys feel not so tight, either in the hips or maybe the low back doesn't hurt as much, and karate chop at the hip. We'll give it one more time. Deep breath in. Don't just throw yourself up, think. Relax the chest, weave the ribs. Pull up on the pelvic floor, maintain that neutral, and go straight up in neutral. Now, take inventory to how you feel. Is it easier to come up? Less effort? Stay for an inhale. And exhale, karate chop at the hips. Sacrum hits the mat first. All right, we're going to grab the strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use a tie. If you don't have a tie, I'll walk you through what to do without one. But bring that right leg to tabletop and place the strap around the foot. If you don't have a strap, just follow the directions, holding on to the back of the leg, but never behind the knee. So in this position, I'd like everybody to notice where their low back is. Is your low back, like if you had one of those tattoos on your low back, is that tattoo fossil imprinted on the floor, or is it off of the mat? So ideally I want it off the mat. If you have to lower your leg to get there, that's totally fine. So I'd rather have you lower the leg than compromise the neutral. So reaching up through the heel. Now remember, don't pull down on the strap, jamming the femur into the hip socket. The goal is to actually lengthen through the heel, lengthening these muscles so they appear nice and long and lean. The opposite leg goes long, dorsiflexing at the foot. So the foot on this leg is going to look like this as opposed to pointed, so dorsiflex. And squeeze that right glute. So if you don't have a strap, just hang on to the back of the leg. You may find that putting a small supportive book about 1/4 inch underneath the head does help if you're straining your neck at all. So just stay here, point the toe, and dorsiflex. Again, point the toe, engaging the quad. Feel that quad engage. And on the exhale, reach through the heel. It's not just about drawing the toes down with the strap. It's really more about reaching through the heel. And last time, inhale, point, and exhale, dorsiflex. Now, if you don't have the strap, that's fine. You can just follow along. I'm going to show you. And you can move at the ankle. You can certainly circle the ankle as an option. So, taking one side of the strap, that right side, keep the foot dorsiflex, and draw that right side of the strap down. If you don't have a strap, you just draw the right side down. If it's too much, you just rotate at the ankles. So you would just do this. Trying to create nice big circles, and you can slow it down and then go in the opposite direction. All right, so then back to center. Draw the left side of the strap down. While your foot is still dorsiflex, this is stretching the outside of the leg. One more time each side. Draw the right strap down. Back to center, and now draw the left side down. Sometimes it's pretty intense, especially if you went for a walk this morning or a bike ride, and then back to center. Now taking the strap in the right hand, and then slowly pulling up on the pelvic floor, and then allowing the leg to go out to the side. Now, if you don't have a strap, same thing. Inhale, deep breath. You just put your hand on the outside and just support it as it slowly lengthens out. Just so you don't put too much pressure on the hip. You're supporting it with your right hand on the thigh. All right, so stay there for a deep breath in. That opposite hip is nice and anchored on the floor. Deep breath in, maybe even draw the toes up towards the direction of the head to get a nice groin stretch. And one more time, deep breath in, and exhale, relaxing the jaw. Now remember that left glute is still squeezing and that left leg is not lying flat and idle. It has energy through it. Stay for a deep inhale. Don't just throw it back. Really mindfully pull up on the pelvic floor and then slowly guide the leg, almost like you're resisting it coming back to center. Important piece here, switch hands. Take that right palm, put it on the hip, lengthen from ribs to hips on the right, and then slowly bring that right leg over to the left, very minimally, maybe 6 inches. And you might think, well, I can go farther, but you'll lose the essence of the exercise, which is to just lengthen from ribs to hips and stretch the outer band. A little bit of the IT band. Inhale, deep breath. Relax the chest, relax the jaw, relax the eyes. Maybe open the palm to the right, maybe gaze to the right side. And one more breath here. And lengthening exhale. On your next exhale, pull up on the pelvic floor, very slowly guide that leg back to center. Bend the knee, remove the strap. Take that left leg on the outside, take the right leg with the outside hand, that left hand, and you're gonna slowly draw the leg over to the left side, maybe turning your gaze to the right, looking at that right palm that's facing up towards the ceiling. Lengthen from ribs to hips on the right side, even if you have to draw the hips down yourself. Stay for a deep inhale and relaxing exhale. One more time. And on this exhale, pull up on the pelvic floor, slowly bring your leg back to center. Take that band, or the strap, or if you have a kitchen towel or whatever you might have tie, it doesn't matter which, you're gonna place it in your arms. Hopefully you can see me. Let me lower this down a little. Your arms are gonna be at least shoulder distance apart. And now you're in this lengthened position with the left leg long, squeeze that left glute. Now point the toe up towards the ceiling. Again, if you lose your neutral, lower it down until you get your neutral. Deep breath in. On the exhale, dorsiflex that right leg and weave the ribs, arm and legs or arm and leg go in opposite directions. Lengthen that leg as long as you can, hopefully longer than the other. Inhale, point that right toe, and slowly resist bringing it back up. Now your strap is nice and taut. You don't want it to be kind of limp. You want it to be really taut and lengthened. Exhale, dorsiflex that right foot again. Weave the ribs, arms go up over the head, and the leg lengthens down about an inch off the mat. One more time, inhale, super slowly, lengthen that leg up towards the ceiling as the arms come back. Exhale, don't move yet, shoulders draw down, weave the ribs, belly button in, pull up on the pelvic floor, dorsiflex that right foot, and reach arms and legs away from each other. Inhale, point up towards the ceiling, and now you're gonna bend the leg on the right side and bring it down, toe ball, heel. I'm gonna show you what I don't want, so when we do it on the other side, it's super clear. So when you come down, I don't want you arching the back. The whole purpose of this is to get stability of your core against movement of the leg. So if you find yourself arching, bring your hands back up and don't lower your leg maybe as far. All right, switching sides. Bend that left knee in. Put the strap on. If you don't have a strap, again, you can just use the back of your hand. Just don't put it behind the knee. You can put it behind the thigh. And right leg goes long. Push through the heel on the right foot. Make sure you have energy through that leg. Squeeze that right glute, that like right butt cheek. And again, point the toe on that left side and then dorsiflex, reaching through the heel. So don't just pull down that strap. Really think about the strap is just there to guide the toes down, but you should be lengthening in the opposite direction with the heel. Inhale, point, and exhale, lengthen through the heel. And one more time, inhale, point, engage your quad, and exhale, dorsiflex. Stay dorsiflex, and you draw with the strap, the right side of the strap down so that you're getting an outside stretch on the leg, the left leg. Inhale back to center, and exhale, opposite direction. Still staying dorsiflex with that foot. Now, if you don't have a strap, just rotate at the ankles in one direction and then the opposite, making as big as circles as you can. So those are the strap, you're still reaching one side, back to center, and reaching the opposite side. All right, both straps in the right hand or the left hand, and you're gonna pull up on the pelvic floor, make sure that right glute is squeezed, that right leg is lengthened, and then exhale, stabilize the core and lower the leg. Again, if you don't have a strap, support the leg with the hand. I'll show you. And resist it down, just so it doesn't open wide and you don't have control over it. So stay here for 2 deep breaths, 2 rounds of breath. Deep breath in. And remember that right leg is reaching too, so you're gonna feel this lengthening through both sides. Maybe draw the toes up towards the direction of your head a bit, getting that nice groin stretch. And maybe even open for the last breath, the arm on the right wide to the side and turn your head to that side. Deep breath in. And on this exhale, slowly draw the leg back to center, head returns back. Switch hands, lengthen from ribs to hips on the left, and just bring that leg over maybe 6 inches. Keep the foot dorsiflexed. You will feel it if you're doing it right. If you don't feel it, lengthen again from ribs to hips. Deep breath in, long breath out. That opposite leg is still stretching, still squeezing on the glute. And one more time. On this exhale, pull up on the pelvic floor, guide that leg back to center, bend the knee, remove the strap if you have it. Yeah. Take the right hand, put it on the outside of the left thigh, lengthen from ribs to hips, and slowly start to move that left leg over to the right. Full spinal extension would be if the left arm reaches long and your gaze looks at your left arm. Both shoulders are still anchored to the floor, and you're relaxing the chest, lengthening from ribs to hips. Deep breath in and relaxing breath out. And one more time. On this next exhale, pull up on the pelvic floor very mindfully. bringing your leg back to center. Take the strap or whatever you might have available to you and place it into the hands. Make sure that they're nice and wide, at least shoulder distance apart, and you are pulling that strap away from the center of the strap. Exhale, point that left leg, reaching it up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, dorsiflex the leg, lengthen through that leg, weave the ribs, pull up on the pelvic floor, then the arms go up overhead and leg reaches long. Inhale twice as slowly, lengthen up. Exhale, dorsiflex the foot, push through the heel and lengthen that heel all the way down to about an inch off the mat as the arms come in the opposing directions overhead. Inhale, point twice as slowly. Your legs should be shaking if you're really pointing that toe and reaching that leg as long as I am. Exhale, dorsiflex, push through the heel, lengthen, weave the ribs. Ribs go down and together as the arms come up over the head. And then inhale super slowly, like you're resisting, like hundreds of pounds are in between your arm and your leg and you're trying to squeeze them together. Lengthen that leg, bend the knee, and bring it down, toe ball, heel. All right, remove the strap. I think that's all I do on that side. And we're then going to take the feet hip width distance apart, put the block in between if you have it, and we're gonna give a little test again. Deep breath in, palms face up. Exhale, coming up. And just be mindful, is the back as tight as it was, or the hips as tight as they were? Hopefully you're just starting to float up. Stay for a deep inhale. Exhale, karate chop at the hip, sacrum hits the mat first. Block gets removed. If you have a band, take that band and either tie it, or if it's already previously tied, you can just put it around the legs. We're gonna do clamshells. Now, I've learned through many of my personal training clients that clamshells are incredibly effective. I'm gonna bring you down here, especially when you use clamshells against a wall with your feet, because it gives you some resistance. So I'm gonna move my mat so that my feet can be against the wall. It's not necessary, but I personally think it helps tremendously. So I'll show you the whole gambit. So I find just a wall where my toes can be, not the whole foot being flat on it, but just the balls of my feet and the tips of my toes. And then I bring myself down to a 45-degree angle with my knees. And my head is on a block. So a couple things with respect to lining up for clamshells. You do not need one of these straps. You can do it without. It just provides resistance. Important things are shoulders are stacked. I see so many people doing this. So you need to be on your shoulder. Lift up and come on the shoulder. The head is supporting, so your shoulder's not taking too much of a brunt. The other issue is make sure you have this little mouse house. A lot of people start off like this. Their head's forward and they're rounded. So take your hand and lengthen and notice the difference in my body. My head goes back. I have this little mouse house, and I have the distance between my ribs and my hips the same on both sides. Okay, deep breath in. On the exhale, top leg goes up. Reaching up, notice my hip doesn't go back. That stays nice and stacked. Inhale super slowly to resist it down. We're gonna do 10. Exhaling. And inhaling super slowly, lengthening down. I like to remind you to relax your shoulders. If this is too much on your shoulder, Martha, you can always go on your back and do bridges, pushing your knees out to the side. Inhale, resist back down. Exhaling, or you could do it standing. This is another option where you could stand and do it in a more of a, I'm trying to think of a bent knee position, more of like you're sitting in a chair and just opening wide to the side. You might have to hang on to something to do it, but. And exhale. Inhale super slowly, lengthening it down. Last 3. And then lowering, making sure you maintain that mouse house. Last 2. Resisting it down. And last time, remember, every exhale, you pull up on the pelvic floor. Stay here if you can, gently giving some push into that wall with your feet if you're against a wall. Stay for a deep inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Maybe lift up a little bit higher to challenge yourself with that strap. Stay for an inhale. Both feet are together. And then exhale, stay. Slowly lower down. I just didn't want you guys to think that you were lifting the whole leg with the foot. Now, take the block, remove it from the head, come onto your back. We're going to do that little test. Palms face up, feet are hip width distance apart. Deep breath in and exhale. Hopefully when you come up, it's a lot easier than when we started. So often what's going on is your low back is tight, it hurts. It's because you're not using other muscles properly. Stay for a deep inhale and exhale, karate chop at the hip. Sacrum hits the mat first. All right, we're going to go on to the other side. So I'm going to switch you guys around to the opposite side. Through years of experience, I have realized that back issues, sometimes they are just what they are, their back, degenerative discs, ruptured disc, bulging discs, but sometimes they are the lack of strength in other muscles like the glutes and hip flexors, hip extensors. So see that little space? This actually is a better view. See that little space between ribs and hips? A lot of times people start here and they do it. They're losing the essence. So lengthen from ribs to hips. Get that little mouse house, that little space for a mouse. Shoulders are stacked. Feet are up against a wall if you have that available to you. Gently pushing into the wall. The feet stay together and the legs at the knees separate apart on the exhale. Inhale, resist it down. Often people take some tension in the neck and the shoulders and the head when doing this, and I really encourage you, inhale, lower down. On the exhale, even if you take your hand, just relax it over your face, just to remind yourself to relax the chest, relax the eyes, and all the energy should be going to the pelvic region. Inhale to lower. Exhaling, pull up on that pelvic floor and then lift. Inhaling to lengthen down. Exhaling. Inhale, slowly lowering down. Notice that mouse house is still there. If it's not with you, just lengthen from ribs to hips on that top hip. Inhale to lower. I have to apologize, I'm terrible with counting, so we'll say 5 more. Inhale to lengthen and lower. Exhale, relax first. Pull up on that pelvic floor and then lift. Inhale, lower. 3 more. Pushing gently into the wall if you have one available with those feet. And all right, we're doing 2 more because I keep talking. I forget where I am. Lowering down. And last time, exhale. Stay there. Use that wall, pushing into it gently, feeling the length through the spine. So lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhaling, maybe lifting that leg a little bit higher, relaxing the jaw. 1 more deep breath in. And 1 more long breath out, pulling up on that pelvic floor. Slowly resist down on the inhale. Remove the block. And here's the ultimate test. Palms face up, feet are hip width distance apart. You can always take the block and put it between the legs if you want to. Deep breath in. On that exhale, hopefully you're floating straight up and it doesn't feel as effortful. It feels effortless. Stay for an inhale, lengthen from ribs to hips. And on the exhale, karate chop at the hip. Your sacrum hits the mat first. Let's go back up, deep breath in. Don't just throw yourself up, engage. Shoulder blades relax, rib cage weaves, pull up on that pelvic floor and come up. We're gonna stay here for an inhale. And on the exhale, if you have a band, you'll feel the resistance. If not, that's okay, it's still a great workout. Just gently push the legs out to the side from the knees. Now, notice, this is where it becomes fantastic to have the feedback from the monitor, notice if your whole body is moving when you do this. You don't want that. You just want everything remains stable against the movement of the leg. That's where the core piece comes in. So for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, lengthen through those knees. Surrender the chest rather than go down one vertebrae, or rather than go down karate chop, we're going to go down one vertebrae at a time. Rolling through imprint and then back to neutral. If you have the strap, you're going to keep it on, and we're going to relocate off the wall for a moment. And we're going to do a little bit of hip extensor work, another underutilized muscle that we want to strengthen. So same position or similar position. You're going to take your block underneath the head. Now the knees are going to come to a 90-degree angle from the hip. So before they were 45, so this would be straight. So now they're a 90-degree angle. And notice, I want to make sure you have your mouse house because I don't want you to be rounded. So proud chest, lengthen through from ribs to hips. I want you to take the top leg. Again, you don't need the straps or the band. If you don't have one, you can do it without. And then lengthen that top leg long. So the lower the strap is towards the knees, the more challenging this work is going to be. The strap might roll back, but it's going to want to bring your leg forward. The strap certainly is, but that's where the resistance comes in. So this leg is literally just lengthened from the rest of the body. Lengthen from ribs to hips. Notice that difference, guys. Lengthen out. All right, inhale, lift the hip or lift the leg only to hip height. If you go too far, you're going to lose your mouse house. So only to hip height. And then exhale, lengthening it down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift it up. Notice I didn't lose my mouse house. And lengthen, really lengthen, almost as if you're gaining space in the mouse house, because you want to lengthen that side of the body. Inhale, lift up, and exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. The leg still hovers. It's never touching the ground. Inhale up, and exhale, lengthen for 4, 3, 2, 1. You should feel some relief on this side of the back. Inhale up, and exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. Inhale up. Feel like somebody's literally taking your leg and they're lengthening it away from you. And 4 more. So 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's not just a lift and lower, it's a lift and lengthen that leg as long as you can. Last 3. Relax the chest, relax the eyes, relax the jaw. And last 2. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. And last one, inhale up and lengthen it down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, on the exhale, bend that leg in on top of the other one. So now both are at a 90-degree angle. You still have your mouse house. Most of you can probably get rid of the block and just open your body. So you're going to do a rotation. Ideally, the knees should stay stacked one on top of the other, but they will likely shift a tiny bit as you get your shoulders down to the ground, and that's fine. Deep breath in, and really expansive breath out. And one more time, deep breath in, and long, relaxing breath out. Take that hand that's on the bottom, bring it in underneath the ear, and support your head as you exhale. Bring that opposite arm, that arm that's reached open, back, just so you can support the head because the block is no longer there. We'll go ahead and switch sides. Using your breath as you move, take every opportunity to breathe. This whole coronavirus thing has really stopped us from breathing as much as we did before, which frankly wasn't that much. So we're now breathing less than we were before. So block is underneath. I'm doing this angle more so you can see the little mouse house. 90-degree angle. Again, watching, making sure that you're not slumped, shortening this distance and lengthening this. So really lengthen. Actually, why don't we all try that? Because I think it's really effective. Go ahead and slump. Notice the head jets forward. The shoulders get rounded. So we really have to actively be aware, okay, this is not the way I want to hold my body. Not energy, you know, being very receptive to others. So let's open and head comes back. So hopefully that made an impression. All right, so the stacked legs, the mouse house, the lengthened, tractioned head back, shoulders are stacked. Deep breath in. On the exhale, that top leg lengthens back. So it's not pushed back further than the rest of the body, it's just lengthened and extended from the body. Deep breath in as you reach that top leg up. Again, only hip height, because otherwise it's gonna go and you're gonna lose your mouse house. And then 4, 3, 2, 1 as you lengthen it down. Inhale up. And exhale, lengthen down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so for those of you who are watching me, I totally appreciate that you're looking at the screen. Just make sure that once you know what you're doing, look straight ahead, because if you're looking down, that head is nodded forward, and I feel like I want to make sure you're lengthened through the back of the neck. So inhale up, proud chest, exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really lengthening that leg down as you 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it. Inhaling up and exhale, lengthening. 3, 2, 1. Inhale up and lengthen down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale up and exhale, lengthen. Now I'm dorsiflexing my foot as I reach it up. You can point it if you want. The most important thing is that you're lengthening it. Got 4 more. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale up. Exhale, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the chest. Last 2. Even if you have to take your hand and remind yourself, relax the eyes, relax the jaw, chest relaxes. And last time, lift up. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. On the exhale, bend the knee. Put it on top of the other knee. Remove the block if you want to. You can always keep it there or grab something a little bit smaller perhaps just to support the head. And then exhale, nice wide opening. Deep breath in. And nice long relaxing breath out. One more time, deep breath in. And long. All right, bend that bottom hand so that the finger's supporting the ear and the head. And then on the exhale, with the support of the head on your hand, bring that wide arm over, 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 and back. Good. And we're gonna slowly push ourselves up. Where does the time go? Okay, we're gonna bring you up. Let's do some ball rolling on the feet. That might be a good use of time. So you're gonna take that strap, if you have it on, take it off. And I know I talk about these all the time, but I do love these balls. I have to say, they're fantastic. And Brian sells them for super cheap. They're practice lacrosse balls, just in case you guys find this a very useful exercise. I would not recommend, sorry, I'm laughing because I'm trying not to say do not to my kids. I'm trying to say, how about, so the balls, if you are on your mat, sometimes you don't get as much feedback. So I would recommend doing it just on the floor versus on the mat. All right, if you have an active state of plantar fasciitis, stay away from this. But if you've had it before and it's not flaring up, this is a great way to prevent it from coming back. So we'll start off just on the arch of the foot, just doing little circles. And people always ask me, how much pressure do I put on? Do I put a lot? It's really up to you. If then opposite direction. Think about kind of how much you want the bottom of the foot to know that you're going to give it some love and put that much pressure on it. That's what I would say. All right, so now bring the heel down. Now my ball of my foot is here. I put this ball not right on the ball of the foot, but right below the ball of the foot. Not yet on the arch of the foot, but in between the arch and the ball. And you just gently push down on the ball. to lengthen the rest of the body up. 5 different spots as you go across the foot. And every opportunity is an opportunity to root to rise the rest of the body. So pushing down as you lengthen up. And then take it and cross fiber. Deep breaths in. And long breaths out. And relaxing the hands too. Sometimes they have a tendency to just clench. So make sure those hands are relaxed. Then coming to the arch of the foot, starting off on the inside of the arch. And working our way with the exhale as we root to rise. Every exhale. And then cross fiber. Inhaling and exhaling. And then the ball of the foot comes down where the arch meets the heel. Place the ball and again, 5 different times to root to rise. And then cross fiber. Inhaling and exhaling. Then I take this opportunity to just make sure the whole foot feels some love. And I paint the bottom of the foot. And if you ever feel like you're not well balanced, always hang on to something with this, either the wall or a table, because this could be really challenging. So painting from all the way to the tips of the toes to the heel. And then I take a vigorous roll right on the arch. So I go from the center of the arch to the outside of the arch, noticing where the tightness is. And I do it one more time. And then I usually just take the opportunity to find a spot that's super tight and just remind myself to relax over it. Because as much as I like to, I can't control everything. So this is something I can let go of. So I really try to take the opportunity to just say, okay, this tightness, maybe find another one, is not serving me. So just let it go. Deep breath in. And long, relaxing breath out. And then just take a moment, which we often don't do, and just pause to kind of feel the difference between both sides. Because I think if you can notice a difference, you'll say, wow, this is actually worth doing, as opposed to rushing through it. So hopefully that right side or that right foot, if that's the one you just worked, feels nice and open compared to the left. And then again, I just start off with that opposite foot, just little circles on the arch of the foot. Breathing in and relaxing out. And then opposite direction. And then taking the heel of the foot, placing it down, and going right between where the ball of the foot is and the arch of the foot, and 5 different opportunities to root to rise. Inhaling and exhaling. And then cross fiber, where you're pushing into the ball. It should feel kind of like plucking guitar strings if you're tight and you're just trying to loosen up the fascia. Then come to the arch of the foot and 5 different spots. Taking every opportunity to lengthen through the crown of the head, relax the hands, relax the shoulders, and then cross fiber. And then bring the ball of the foot down to where the arch meets the heel. So not on the heel, but where the arch meets the heel. This is the plantar fascia and often gets extremely tight. So using this opportunity to do those 5 different spots and then cross fiber really provides a nice loosening of that fascia. It hydrates the fascia. And then I paint the bottom of the whole foot. Again, if you need to, hang on to a wall for stability and make sure you're breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. And then I do that little teeny tiny kind of shimmy up and down just on the arch of the foot starting, I realized I'm not even on my foot, where the arch is, and I go from the center to the outside, back to the inside. And then I find a spot that's tight and I try to just relax. And maybe one more spot, deep breath in. And open mouth, exhale, relax. Good, and then the ball goes away to a safe spot. Don't trip over it. And just be appreciative of the new feet we have, which are nice and grounded and energized. Deep breath in, arms reach. Gentle bend to the knees. Take that right wrist and reach over to the left side, anchoring that right foot down. That right foot anchoring really does make a difference in how much stretch you're going to get. Inhale back to center, and exhale, relax the shoulders, and anchor the left foot down as your hand on the left comes over to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, draw the hands down to heart center. Inhale up. And exhale, really think about pushing down hundreds of pounds. Shoulders draw down, ribs weave together. Roll the shoulders up and exhale, relaxing down. One more time, inhale up. Take the hands, draw the hands to heart center, relaxing those elbows. Inhale up and exhale down. One shoulder at a time. Inhale, roll them up, and exhale, down. Nice job, you guys. I tried to end somewhat on time. We'll unmute all. Thanks for sharing your Wednesday with me.
Thank you.
I hope you guys have a lovely week.
Thanks, Meg. You too.
Bye.
You guys notice that when you come up into bridge after those exercises?
Better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel good.
Yeah, as you continue to do it, I think that's going to be part of the series. So if you don't have a strap, or a band, I should say, these are really worth getting. I don't know if Stowe Fitness might sell them, but you can certainly get them online. And they're super cheap, but they are fantastic to have. So excellent. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Meg. Bye.
See you soon.